Today in this video, we are going to learn how to connect MySQL Workbench on your local machine to Google Cloud SQL instance. Okay, before moving into how to do that process, first we have to understand that why we are moving to the Cloud SQL, that we have to understand. So when we are beginners or when we are learning at the SQL programming, that time the querying, what we are going to do is we are going to practice and we are going to perform all the operations in the MySQL Workbench, right? Many of them are using this MySQL Workbench to perform the querying operations, right? Yes, now why we are going to move it to the Cloud SQL is, let us take, imagine you are working on a group project and need to share a single database, but you are all having a different laptops are there. Okay, what I'm trying to tell is, imagine you are working on a group project and that group project need to share a single database it has to share among all your teammates in their different laptops. If you use this workbench, it is not possible to share your database to the multiple users or multiple teammates. Okay, so if you go with the Cloud SQL, that can be done where the multiple teammates or where the multiple systems or the multiple users can access at the same time. So for that purpose, what we are doing is now we are going to connect our MySQL workbench to the Cloud SQL or the Cloud SQL instance. Now we will see how to create that Cloud SQL instance in the GCP. Now first we need to go to the console, GCP console, to the console. Now this is your console. Check at the which project you are in. Now I'm in my project. Now search Cloud SQL. You're going to get the Cloud SQL. Here you have the option called create instance with your free credits. Click on this. Now here you have different database engines are there. Either you can go with the MySQL or you have the PostgreSQL or you have the SQL Server. Now at present we are going with the MySQL. So choose the MySQL. Now we have to provide some basic details here. I'm going to select here the enterprise, and then based upon your requirement, you have to select your edition present. For example, I'm going to select, for example, development. I'll take. Then I'm going to take MySQL 8.0. Now I'm going to give the instance ID. For example, I'm going to keep demo instance I've kept. Then you have to keep the password here. Now I'm going to keep the password like, for example, 12345. I'm going to keep like this. Then move down. You have to select the location. I'm keeping the location normally, like whatever the given the by defaultly, or either you want to change, you can change it. Now click on show configuration options. So if you want to configure machine configure, you can configure. Let us take, I'm going to keep one virtual CPUs. That's all. In storages, I'm going to do 10 GB is enough for me. So next, when coming to the connections, you have to be careful here. So in the connections, what you have to do is you have to check the checkbox of public IP. Then here click on the add networks. Here I'm going to keep allow all I have kept, and here I'm going to keep a global range like 0.0.0.0/0. It is going to allow all the IPs. Done. Then finally, in the data protection, uncheck the prevent instance deletion, uncheck it. Then go down and bottom you can see the option called create instance. Click on the create instance. It will take nearly 2 to 3 minutes or 4 minutes to create your Cloud SQL instance. Okay, if you see here, the options were still visible, right? It will take nearly 2 to 3 minutes to enable all the options. Okay, wait for 2 to 3 minutes until it was created. Now you can see here all these options were enabled, right? Now the instance was created. Okay, it take me 5 minutes to create the instance, so wait for it until it was created. Okay, then after creating the instance, come down. There you can observe the public IP address are there. There you can observe the public IP address is there. You copy this public IP address. You copy this and come to your MySQL Workbench. Here you have to create the connection. How to create the connection is here you can see the plus icon. Click on this plus icon. Here the connection name. For example, I'm going to keep my connection name as Cloud SQL. I'm going to keep. Then keep the connection method as standard IP. Now, when it comes to the host name, what you have to give the host name is here you have to provide the public IP address of your Cloud SQL instance. Now, here I am pasting whatever I was copied. Now, what I was copied here, if we see here, the public IP address of the instance that I was copied and I have pasted in here, host name. Okay. After that, the port name, you leave it like this 3306 for the SQL. Now, when comes to the password, the username, you can keep it as a root, no issue. When coming to the password, what is the password you have to give is click on the store invalid. Here, which password you have to mention is whatever the password I have given while creating the instance. What I have given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have given while I'm creating the instance. Okay, the same password which I have given here and click on OK. Now you have to test the connection. Click on the test connection. Now it is showing successfully made the MySQL connection, right? Now click on OK. OK. Now you can see one more connection was came here, right? Now if I open this, now if I show which servers it was connected, which server it was connected. Now you can see the option called server, right? Server tab is there, right? Click on the server tab. You can click on the server status. If you click on the server status, it is going to show the status of the server. Now you can see from where it is. From it is from the Google, right? Now here it is going to uh, it is provided by the Google, right? Now you can see here it is provided by the Google. Now, if I go to my local instance, for example, if I show you, see here, this is my local instance. Now, if I click on servers and server status, now from where it is showing, where the version it is showing that MySQL community server, right? When if I go to the Cloud SQL, which is instance, now what it is showing here, it is showing from the Google, right? So in this way, we can create the Cloud SQL instance and we can connect the MySQL Workbench to the instance. Now in this Cloud SQL, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a query like I'm going to create a database like create database. Let us take I'm creating the database. Now if I execute this query, now it was successfully executed. If I refresh, now you can see the company, the database, right? If I go to the Google Cloud Console, if I come to this Google Cloud Console, the left side navigation menu, you can see the databases, right? Click on this database. Now you can see that what it is showing. Here it is showing the company, right? Which just now we have created. Like this, it is going to show the databases. Okay. Now, if I want to create the database from the instance, you can create the database. For example, here the company it is showing right now. Again, I'm going to create one more database from here itself. Instead of writing the query, Here, instead of writing the query, now I'm going to create one more database. Here you have the option called create database, right? Click on the create database. Now it is going to ask the name. For example, I'm going to write here sales I have kept. And if I click on the create, now you can see the database is creating. And here you can observe, wait a minute. Yes. Now here you can observe the sales database was created, right? Now, if I go to my workbench, if I refresh this schema, now you can see that the sales also was created here, right? If you delete it, it means if you draw, now you can observe here, it is going to be deleted, right? Now we can observe the company is not there, the sales is also not there. Okay, in this way, you can connect your Cloud SQL instance to the MySQL Workbench. Okay, after completing of your work, then what we need to do? We should definitely terminate the instance. Okay, we need to delete the instance. How to delete that? Now here you have the instance, right? Click on this checkbox. In these three dots, you have the option called delete option, right? Click on the delete. It is going to enter manually your instance name. Now I'm going to type demo instance and click on the delete. Now you can observe here down what it is showing. It is deleting, right? It will take few minutes to delete. Now it is going to delete.